This video is brought to you by lavelsoccer.co.uk, one of the world's best online international soccer retailers. Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you an unboxing plus on-feet video of the Nike T90 Laser 4 Kanga-Lite ACC in the black, total crimson, and black colorway. If you guys could take a second to leave a like on the video right now, it would be greatly appreciated. As far as extras go, a string bag is included with the shoes, as you'll get with all the top-end Nike models. This string bag itself is black with the orange Nike swoosh in the middle and the T90 graphic on the front with the black strings on the bag itself. Again, the string bags are only included with the top-end models and not with any of the takedowns. So if you do buy a takedown model, it's not going to include a string bag. So I'll get this box out of the way so you can get a good look at the shoes. And the first thing that you guys probably noticed is I said this was black, total crimson, black. And that is the official listed colorway. That's exactly what it says on the box. But as you guys can see, the shoe itself is not actually black. Instead, it's actually like a gunmetal metallic gray, as you guys can see on, hopefully you can see the metallicness of the upper itself. Really does look sharp, interesting colorway. There is some black on the shoe in the liner on the inside, and of course this rubberized shot shield on the instep. But the rest of the shoe, or the rest of the upper I should say, is that metallic gunmetal gray, which looks really sharp. Then of course you have your bright orange total crimson accents in the swoosh on the outside, the inside, the laces, the tongue, and then of course the entire sole is that total crimson as well. I already unboxed the Volt and black version of the T90 Laser 4 synthetic. There's two synthetic models. There's the Kanga-Lite, which you have here, and then just a regular synthetic. It's kind of like unspecified as to what exactly it is. A little bit thinner than Kanga-Lite in my opinion, so if you do want to check that out, I will leave an annotation on screen to the other two synthetic versions that I have brought in, which is the Volt as well as the bright crimson colorway. As far as this particular colorway goes, this is the first Laser 4 featuring Kanga-Lite upper that has the brand new ACC technology, all conditions control technology, included on the shoe itself. Nike has recently implemented ACC onto all of their top-end models, and like I said, this is the first Kanga-Lite version of the Laser to feature ACC. The Kanga-Lite used on this shoe doesn't feel too far off from what we had on any of the past Kanga-Lite versions of the Laser that didn't have ACC. It feels relatively the same, maybe a little bit softer, more along the lines of what you're going to find on the CTR 360 Maestri 3, which is a good thing, and I'm pretty excited to give these guys a try. You also do have that ACC technology, like I mentioned, which if you're not familiar with it, it's essentially Nike's wet control element. It allows for a little bit better friction between your foot and the ball when playing in wet conditions. Kind of keeps the upper really dry. There's no real specific reason as to how it does that. It's kind of like a secret process by Nike. It's permeated to the upper itself. It's not a coating or anything like that, so it shouldn't wear away. And it really does work well, actually. So it's a cool technology to have on your shoes. Is it going to make or break your touch when playing in wet conditions? Not really, but it's a cool feature to have on your shoes. And like I said, if it only affects you when you are playing in the wet, just that little bit, then it's definitely a good thing. And it's something that I've said before, I'd rather have on my shoes than not. The Laser 4 itself is one of those shoes that when I first tried it out, when it first came out, I wasn't a big fan of it. I kind of thought it strayed too far away from the last version, which was the Laser 3. Wasn't as bulky, a lot more slimmed down, and like I said, I just didn't like it at first. But I found myself coming back to it over and over again, and for those of you that don't know, the T90 Laser 4 is one of my personal favorite shoes to wear. I tend to put the shoe on when I'm not testing stuff, when I'm playing for real, and I really don't feel like testing anything out. Generally, I pick up the Laser 4 just because I love the solid feel of the shoe. To start off with this kind of shot shield or adaptive shield, you want to call it, or striking element on the shoe itself. Generally, rubberized striking elements are something that I'm not a big fan of at all. I feel like they get in the way, they're a little bit too bulky, and they just take away from the overall quality of the touch on the shoe. But for whatever reason, I really love this striking element. If we start off with this little section here at the base of the forefoot, you have these little fins raising off the shoe. You can see they have a little bit of flexibility to them like that, and that allows for a little bit better grip on the ball when you are kind of swerving it. Does it allow you to swerve the ball better? No. What I would say is that it does is allows you to swerve the ball a little bit easier because you have that extra grip. Can you swerve the ball more in the Laser 4? Arguably, maybe a little bit, maybe. but it's not like a major difference. You're not going to put on these shoes and be able to bend it like Beckham, if you want to call it that. Then of course you have this adaptive shield section here on the top of the foot. That is the main section, or the main striking element on here. It's kind of like a harder rubber. It's not very sticky at all like you might expect, not like what you're going to get on the Predator LZ, and it's actually got a little bit of thickness to it with these kind of cutout zones, so it's very, very flexible and flows with the shape of your foot, which is a good thing. And basically all it's there to do is provide a more solid contact between your foot and the ball. It gives you that really pingy feel, if you guys know what I'm talking about, and that's really what I love about the Laser 4. It feels so good when striking the ball, and I love that it does include this Kanga-Lite synthetic from Nike, which is just such a good synthetic. As far as the lacing system goes, you can see it is pushed to the outside, slightly off-centered, so you do have a more clean striking surface on the instep. And then of course you do have that internal plastic heel counter at the back. Nothing special, but it definitely does get the job done. The heel liner on the inside is actually like a slightly texturized, slightly grippy coating on the inside. It's like a synthetic leather material. It does a good job. There's some nice amount of cushioning in there, and the shoe itself is very, very comfortable, which you will see a little bit later in the on-feet section of this video. If we pull out the insole, you can see it is orange with that synthetic leather texturized layer on the top, and then the bottom is EVA foam with your pour-on inserts in the heel, midfoot, and forefoot. Pour-on is like a very impact absorbing foam. Really does a good job of kind of providing that nice soft feel when you step into the shoes. And as far as the T90 Laser 4 insole goes, it's one of the better insoles that you're going to get from pretty much any soccer shoe. I believe the Legend 4 has pretty much the same insole with just a slightly different pattern on the top. As far as the stud pattern itself goes in the sole plate, it is a TPU or plastic sole plate on here. It does have that matte finish, which you can't really tell online, if you guys can see that. It's a matte finish on that Total Crimson. Then of course the studs themselves are clear. The sole plate's nice and flexible. It's not overly thick, and it keeps the shoe relatively lightweight. To me, lightweight shoes are not really my thing. I'm not really a big fan of having shoes that are overly light. I would rather have something that's a lot more solid than lightweight, and I really like that about the Laser. It just feels really solid both in feet and on feet and in hand, sorry. If we move on to the stud pattern itself, it is an all-bladed stud pattern, as you guys can see here. Really designed for striking the ball. You can see you have these kind of 3 studs, or 4 studs if you will, if you count that one in, kind of just going in one direction. So when you do plant your foot to strike the ball, there's really no movement once your foot is planted, which feels really, really great when you're striking the ball. You really have a solid plant, which is very important when you're trying to get a powerful strike. And then of course you do have all of these bladed studs, 4 in the heel. And like you said, you got pretty much multi-directional traction. Really does a good job of gripping this to the ground, especially when you are playing on firm ground, because this is the firm ground model designed for firm natural grass playing surfaces, and not something that I would personally recommend for use on artificial grass. Not only because it can be a little bit unsafe because it provides too much grip, but you're also going to damage the shoes themselves, so just keep that in mind. Buy the firm ground stud pattern to play on firm natural grass and nothing else. That's pretty much it as far as the unboxing portion of this video goes. And we'll move on to a quick weigh-in so you guys can see how light these shoes are. The T90 Laser 4 is obviously a shoe that's not designed to be lightweight, and for that reason a lot of people tend to overlook all of the models from Nike that aren't the Mercurial because of that reason. Lightweight is kind of the latest craze, and personally I'm not a big fan of it. To me, a shoe that weighs 9, 10, 11 ounces is something that I really like to wear. I'm not a huge fan of the lightweight feel. I feel like you take a lot away from a soccer shoe when you do make it that light. That's not to say that lightweight shoes are bad. I just prefer shoes that have a little bit more bulk to them and provide a more solid feel, like the Laser 4. It's part of the reason why I'm such a big fan of this shoe. I'm going to weigh this for you guys in real time. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. I'm going to throw it on the scale so you can see exactly what it weighs. And they weigh in at 9.55 ounces. So for most people, they would consider that to be a heavy shoe, and that absolutely drives me crazy, because when you think about your average running shoe, even more lightweight running shoes that people are familiar with, like maybe a Nike Free, weighs in somewhere around that 9-10 ounce mark, and people consider those to be extremely lightweight. Soccer shoes as a whole are just super light in general, so something that weighs 9-10 ounces is very, very lightweight when you can kind of compare it to most running shoes. Your average running shoe weighs in between 12 and 14 ounces, which is something that is astronomical for a soccer shoe. There's not many shoes that weigh at that 12 ounce mark, so when people complain about a shoe weighing 9 or 10 ounces, like I said, you're thinking way too much about it. Weight doesn't matter as much as you think it does. It provides a different feel, but nothing more. It's not going to make you run faster. It's not going to make you fatigue any less quickly. It's just a number at the end of the day. So that's pretty much it as far as the weigh-in goes. Sorry for the little ramble there. And we'll move on to a quick on feet so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit. Alright, here's a look at the Laser 4s on feet, and from right out of the box, this is an extremely comfortable pair of shoes. The Kanga-Lite synthetic is very soft and flexible from right out of the box, and requires very minimal break-in time. It is going to soften up from how it is from brand new, but for the most part, the way it feels from out of the box is how it's going to feel forever. It doesn't have very much stretch to it, so again, break-in time is fairly minimal with a shoe like this. The Laser 4 has a reputation for being very wide, and I don't know why that is. It's not a particularly wide shoe. As far as the toe box and forefoot shape on this particular model goes, it's probably the widest of all the Nike tiers, but I definitely wouldn't categorize this as a very wide fitting soccer shoe. I have about an average width foot, and as you guys can see, the shoe fits me very, very well. If I did have a wider foot, it still would fit me, but if you have a really, really wide foot, you're still better off going for like the Legend that has a natural leather upper. That's going to allow you to get some stretch out of the shoe as opposed to a synthetic model like the Laser. So just keep that in mind. But for the most part, the shoe fits very, very well. And like I said, has that nice solid feel to it. I like the kind of textures liner on the inside. And like I said, that insole provides some good cushioning to it. And that texturized layer on the top really does a good job of keeping your foot secure inside of the shoe. As far as sizing goes, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit in the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair for yourself, I strongly recommend going true to size. But that's pretty much it as far as the on-feet portion of this video goes, and we'll move on to my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's it for my unboxing plus on-feet video of the Nike T90 Laser 4 Kanga-Lite ACC. Very long name to this guy. I have already tried out pretty much all the variations of the Laser 4. I'm just going to try out this brand new variation now. Very excited to get to testing these because I really love the Laser 4. In the meantime, if you want to check out my review of the ACC synthetic model, I will leave a direct link down below in the description while you're waiting for this particular review, which should take about 3 to 4 weeks. As far as what you're going to find on the review page of this shoe right now, which again you will find linked down below in the description, it's the high quality images of this exact pair that'll give you a better idea as how the shoe actually does look in person, as well as buy now links with the best prices online, including some exclusive SR4U coupon codes to get you guys some additional discounts if you are interested in ordering a pair for yourself. If you do have any questions regarding this particular shoe, feel free to leave a comment down below, and if you guys could leave a like on the video, it would be greatly appreciated. If you're not subscribed to the channel already and you did enjoy today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button for daily videos on all the latest soccer gear, such as more unboxing on feet, reviews, comparisons, free kicks, anything soccer related. If you're into soccer equipment at all, you're going to love this channel. So like I said, if you're not subscribed already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions not related to the video, go ahead and ask those on the SR4U Facebook fan page, which again you can find linked down below in the description. And one last thing, I do have an Instagram account if you want to follow me there. My Instagram name is VujoJosh, just like this channel name. You can go ahead and look me up, or again, the link can be found down below in the description. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.